Greetings, beautiful souls out there, in there, or wherever you reside. Today's video is going to be called You Are the Triggers. I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine, and we were talking about, just things that are happening in the world today, things that have happened in the world in past times, just different things and concepts. And one of the things that was brought up was the idea of triggers. What triggers, in a sense, people to do things? A lot of times, people won't know what to do until they see somebody else do it, until they see it happen on the exterior part of their life. And if you just take a small little trip with me down memory lane, we'll go back to the age of Jesus, Muhammad, Krishna, Buddha, all of these things. And if you think about it, those beings didn't have triggers. Those beings were triggers for everybody else around them. They were persecuted on almost every facet that they decided to, go along. And so, if you think about it, in today's day and age, come back to the present moment, the idea that we have all kinds of things on the internet, all kinds of things on television, all kinds of things, just all over the place. On radio, billboards, grocery stores, cinematography, everything are triggers these days. All of these concepts will stem and spark and stimulate concepts within people. Concepts that have been buried for carnation upon carnation upon carnation upon carnation, for all of the lives that you've lived. In this moment, you have an opportunity to trigger concepts, trigger thought processes, trigger wisdom within you. Take that notion, add it to the notion of being a trigger yourself. That is powerful. If you can be a trigger while you're triggered, it's this and that, folks. It's not this or that no longer. You don't have to be a trigger and never get triggered. It doesn't work like that no more. To be a fantastic, simultaneously triggering being, to trigger those around you, you yourself have to be triggered in a sense, to project and broadcast that trigger process, to broadcast that knowing. Because that's what triggers anyways, is a deep understanding in your heart that you know that that's true. So that triggers a thought that gets you to think in a specific direction. When we're talking about being triggered, something else came up. And that's the fact of people these days, in a sense, some people do, some people don't. People have foresight nowadays instead of insight. Because in a sense, all the wisdom and all the knowledge and all the knowing is interior, inside of you. That's why it's called insight. I see into my own self and see the knowledge and be the knowledge. But instead, everybody else has the foresight to see beyond that, right? I can see into next Tuesday and know that that's not going to work because Sally won't be there to do this or do that, and that's just, how's it going to happen? Well, this foresight these days has trumped the idea of insight. So all my dear friends out there, look internally. Have the insight from within and initiate and integrate that into your foresight. Because like I said, it's this and that. It's not this or that. You take these concepts and you collect them and connect them and combine them, and that's where the yin-yang exists. That's where the, as they say, the ancient Tao resides. From within the balanced construct, not from within half the piece. Like people say, I desire peace in my life. That's okay, that's beautiful, that's fantastic, but that's only half of the equation. Peace is only a piece. It's not the whole thing. It's not the holistic. So my dear friends, if you've been triggered today, that's beautiful, because that gets your energy in motion. That gets your emotion flaring. That gets your emotion raring and blaring, if I will. Because it's an opportunity to see more of you. If you think your life is boring, if you think your life is uneventful, that's just as amazing. So no matter how, no matter where and when and who's and the what's, forget about it. Be you. Be you as fully as you can, as often as you can. Even if that is only once a week, once a day, once an hour, once every 10 minutes, once every 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. Because the very second you be you is the very second you can trigger another within your proximity, within your vicinity. You trigger these folks because these folks trigger you. Remember that. And as always, my dear friends, it's been a pleasure. Always think with your heart. Always listen to your heart. And always live through your heart. It's your guiding light. May you have a beautiful and creative day. I love you.